It's Wednesday night, and that means it's time for the Lamar Thomas Show, featuring the greatest receiver in the history of college football. Just ask him, Lamar Thomas.
I was born in Ocala, Florida. I moved to Gainesville to go to high school. Been recruited probably since the 9th grade, illegally, I might add, by the University of Florida. I still can remember Coach Solinger, Don Solinger, coming out to our practice one day. Here it is, this guy comes out in the University of Miami jacket, and I said, I can't believe that's Miami out here. And, you know, I wanted to go up and say, hey, I'm Lamar Thomas. And actually, I did walk up to him and I said, hey, Coach, I'm Lamar Thomas. And he said, I know. And that was the start of my relationships with the University of Miami.
Patton, another good block, and Toretto lays it out.
You come down here, you'll be on TV every weekend, dominating. I thought about it. I said, man, where do I sign? My mom, on Saturday mornings, I would wake up and she'd be holding my hand. I thought she was the weirdest lady in the world. But she was holding my hands and she would be rubbing them and saying, one day these hands are gonna make you a lot of money. She was smart.
So now, here he is, the great one, along with co-host Gary Ferman of CaneSport.com, Lamar Thomas.
What's going on, LT?
I'm feeling festive. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling all the words of a winner. Woo! Gary, great to be a Miami Hurricane. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane. Woo! We won, baby. We went up there and conquered the field and changed it to Canesville, just like we did Gainesville. I'm hyped, Gary. Sorry about that. I'm hyped. Drinking this Mountain Dew, man. Drinking this Mountain Dew.
I know you are. And I'm going to tell everybody why in a minute. But first, let me welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Lamar Thomas Show, presented by Caneswear. And we're going to get that Caneswear information for you guys coming along the bottom of the screen there. And a lot of gear that you got to get this week. The team's going to be wearing black on the field. They want you to wear orange in the stands. The real fans are going to find a way to combine the two, I think.
Yeah, right.
And
Halloween.
The best way to do that is go to caneswear.com right now while you're watching the show, or go by the store itself at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, where they've got a little bit of everything for you in black and orange for sure.
Orange. They got everything. I got some shirts right here. I'm gonna pull them out when we get towards the middle of the show. I got shirts, I got hats, I got all kind of merchandise and gear. I mean, woo, boy, it's a lot of stuff in here. When you're winning, everybody's so you better hurry up. You better knock down the doors. People, we had to turn some people away just about 5 minutes ago. I let them come on in, like I own the store and everything. But we had people are just they're on it. Because we're gonna pack the rock. We're packing the rock, as Michael Irvin would say. We're packing the rock. So hopefully everybody comes to this game. Come on by Caneswear, get your gear, and then hit on down. What's this? University right here, and going on to the stadium.
Yep, 15 minutes away. And I don't think Michael Irvin gave anybody a choice but to go to the game.
Man, let me tell you something, Gary. The guy was hyped at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was like, bro, it's too early, man. It's chill. No. We got to win. We got to win. They got to win. We ain't doing nothing, Mike. Oh, I go out there right now and get about 100 yards, Mike. You won't get 10 yards. It's a different game. That 80s and 90s stuff don't work no more, bro. It's done. You're done. I don't want to be out there. You don't want to be out there. Reggie Wayne don't want to be out there. we're all on the sideline enjoying ourselves. But let me tell you something. This is a different age right here, boy. This is a different age. So I had to come. There we go, right there. Look at that. Okay, so I set this picture up. I said, Mike, you get to my right. Reggie, you to the left. And he said, Mike said, why are you doing that, Lamar? I said, well, first of all, I broke your record, and Reggie Brain broke my record. You're number 3, so stay your behind on the right side, buddy. And boy, Reggie was laughing so hard. He almost went on the field. Mike was a little upset about that, but hey, that's how it goes. Records are meant to be broken, as we'll talk about it later on in the show. We got Restrepo just passing everybody like he's running street lights around here. So I'm happy about that too.
He's gonna make it like you guys never even played the way he's going.
Like we never even played. I
mean, it's incredible the season he's having, and we thought he was getting preferential treatment last year when TVD was feeding him. This is something else. What's going on this year with this quarterback? And whoever would have thought that Xavier Restrepo would benefit so much by his best friend leaving? Think about that.
Hey man, the one thing that he is doing, he's outworking everybody, and it's becoming contagious. Because every time I go there, I see guys staying after and they're doing something. And that has been his blueprint since he got there. And now everybody's doing it because they see his success. And as a coach, Kevin Beard has to feel great about that because he knows that he does have that coach on the field, to be able to coach those guys up and off the field. And that's more important than a lot of people know to get guys to do the right thing. And they're all trying to do the right thing. And it's a really good group. We got a lot of talent in that room. A lot of talent.
Yeah. And, I mean, his best friend left. And I got to believe he had to make a decision. Either he's going to stay or go with him to Wisconsin. And he chose to stay. I mean, I don't know that he ever really considered it, to be honest with you. But they were pretty tight.
Right.
Restrepo and Tyler Van Dyke. And, he's thriving with Cam Ward. They have such a connection between the two of them, and he's just obliterating the record book. I mean, probably a game or two away from surging past everybody. And good for him because he does work harder, and he's also moved up the NFL draft stock charts too. I think he's got a shot, to maybe go in the 4th round. Right around.
It doesn't matter where he's going to go. He's going to make a team because the kid just works, man, and he has that little something, that little chip on his shoulder. Whether his size or whatever it is, he just feels like he has to outwork it. And he's going to make a play regardless. And so when you see him drop a pass that might be just a little bit out of his reach, you bet you're behind that he's going to come back and make up for it.
He had one of those last week. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. But
just mistimed it a little bit.
Yeah. But he came back because that touchdown catch, that was special too. That was special.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, if he's got to run about in the 4.5s when they get the combine time later, but he will get drafted in the middle of the draft if he can do that. And
like I said, it doesn't really matter where you get drafted. It's just getting your opportunity. Jesse Armstead went in the 7th round, played like for about 15 years. I mean, it's when you get to a team and they see your worth and they see how good you are and they see that they got you for a steal. Because think about it, if you got a guy that's getting paid $2 million, $3 million, whatever, and he's a slot guy, you bring Restrepo in, Restrepo outduels him. You're saving a ton of money for a couple years.
Yeah.
And so the guy that's making all the money, he becomes expendable where you trade for something else to add value to the trade and to your team.
Well, Restrepo will be a nightmare for anybody that doesn't want to work hard. And I think he's going to be a good special teams player at the next level too. I think he'll be able to pretty much play all special teams and be a very valuable guy in that regard. So,
we got to say congratulations to him too. I don't know if he's watching. Maybe we'll clip it up, but congratulations to Xavier Restrepo for getting your what's that iron? What's that?
Oh, the Iron Arrow.
Iron Arrow. I saw that today. Congratulations. Just give him a hand, Gary. Come on, clap, Gary. Clap. Okay, there you go. Give him his flowers.
Good for him, man.
I we had that on the show a couple of years last year maybe, and I was talking about the story where I was like, "Hey, Dino, man, what's up with that, man? I ain't get no Iron Arrow." He said, "There's academics." I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right."
So anyway, LT, so much to talk about this week, obviously, and I'm going to start with the trip to Louisville because, you know, I was out there on the field before the game, and you arrived, and I mean, it was something else. Now, I mean, for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, you were working the town, so to speak. I couldn't believe that. Like, everybody remembered you. They were so happy to see you. You did have to fraternize with the enemy a little bit too. Only fair, since you did spend a few years on the coaching staff there. But all in all, I mean, it had to be a great trip for you, even beginning Saturday morning when you had the opportunity to talk to the team. So let's start there. You wake up Saturday morning early. They're having position meetings in the hotel, and Kevin Beard, the receiver coach, asked you to speak to his group. Tell us about that, and what did you say?
Man, that was you know, he hit me up that night. I think I was in the bar where we were having a Hurricanes party, where they were riding the bull in the PBR. I was like sitting there watching people fall off the bull, going, "These people are nuts." And I got the text, and he's like, "Hey, can you speak to the guys in the morning?" I said, "Sure." I didn't really ask what time, and then it came in about 5 minutes. He said 7:30. I was like, "Hey, man, I got to go. I got to go get some rest and be ready to go."
I was going to say, I'm sure you went right to bed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I said, "Hey, man, I got to get going." Everybody was like, "You leaving?" "Yeah, I got to go, man. I got something to do."
That's kind of like what IC always says when he has to work in the morning. He always says he went to bed the night before. Let's get him in here so he can defend himself a little bit. Right, IC? Aren't I right? You're out partying all night on South Beach before you got to work on Saturday morning, but you always say you went to bed, just like Lamar's doing right now.
Lamar, you just gave up my secret recipe. Now the cat's out of the bag.
No, I actually went to bed, though. I was like, there's no way I'm able to get up 7:30 and speak to these guys, but it was I just basically talked to them about, you know, 3 things I want them to do. First of all, I said this: I don't know how I could have gotten on the field with you guys. You guys are so talented, you know. Man, you guys got everything, you know. But this game, 3 things you need to do. You know, you just need to go out there, play physical, play fast, and most importantly, have fun. That's what the gist of it was. Just have fun, man. This is you got a great group, you got a great quarterback, you got a great offensive line, you got great running backs, you got a great tight end. Easy work. You know, those guys can't stop you. All the preparation I see you guys doing, they can't stop you. You guys got different, each and every one of you guys have some different thing that makes this team go and makes this group better. Embrace it. Do it. Just go have fun. And that's basically what I said, because you know, I was looking into their eyes and I could tell. I said, "Man, they are like, who is this old freaking guy here?" But at 7:30 in the morning. But no, they were very receptive, and they were.
Do we really got to be listening to this at 7:30 in the morning?
They were kind of geeked up, and then you know, they watched some film, and you know, I was watching film. I was standing in the back, and then they put on their little highlight thing, the little get them pumped up. And they were ready to go. And it was a great experience. It really was. The Louisville, you notice, if you follow me on Twitter, I didn't go L's down. And it's primarily because, you know, those people over there were great. They were great to me. They were great to my family, my wife, my kid. One of my daughters was born there, Parker. So it was a great game. I could tell you this. This is a funny story. So I go to check in. Room's not ready, right? Manager says go in the M club. I go in there for about 2 hours eating gummy bears, you know. So finally he says, "Hey, your room's ready." Go to the front desk. He touches me on the shoulder and said, "Coach, thank you for Lamar Jackson." And I said, "Oh, well, I was just doing my job. Thank you." I go up there. I got like a corner room suite. I can see the team coming. I mean, I got 3 windows in my play. I'm like, oh, boy. So all day, the fans were coming up saying, "Thank you for Lamar Jackson." You know, the cardinal even came up to me And I saw him coming. I was like, why is this Cardinal coming on our sideline? And he said, hey, he goes, hey, can we take a picture together? I go, yeah. He says, thank you for Lamar Jackson. So it was a great experience seeing all those guys that coached at Brom, Garrett McGee, Pete, just a bunch of guys over there. I saw some guys I hadn't seen in a long time. So it was a great experience. But getting into that game, what a great environment. The city of Louisville came out. Our fans came out. We had a ton of fans up there too, man. We had a ton of fans, and it was
Miami
awesome
is traveling this year.
Yes, it was awesome to see our fans loud, enjoying themselves. And at some point in fourth quarter, we always take over. So it was a great experience. Kudos to our fans that traveled.
So I see if you had somebody inspirational like Lamar to come talk to you at 7:30 in the morning on game day, you'd still be playing, wouldn't you?
100%. I'd be averaging 150 a game, 10 catches, 2 tutties, all that good stuff. So, yeah, 100%. I feel like it's really cool for those guys, though, as well, to kind of, get somebody that's been in their shoes before at the University of Miami, won a lot of big games, kind of, give them some tips and pointers. Obviously they're playing at a super high level, and, it's always good hearing from, people, like I said, in that position. That's how I kind of feel on this show. Every time you guys bring in a former Cane, I'm just like, wow, this is awesome. Like with Big Sil talking about driving Ferraris and stuff like that. It's just learning new things that you didn't know, and, applying that to what you're doing now is always pretty cool. So I'm pretty sure, and I know those guys probably enjoyed hearing from LT and all the other Canes on the sideline as well too.
Well, unfortunately, you didn't have anybody to inspire you, so you're here with us on a Wednesday night. And,
I wouldn't say unfortunately, man. I'm loving this side of it too.
I was going to say it could be worse. It could be worse. All right, so LT, so as a former player, what is it like when you guys get to go in there and be a mentor to the new generation of Hurricanes? Like, what's that feel like?
As you see these guys, you see them. When I talk to them, I'm usually talking to them about something I see. I see them with all my experience, whether coaching or playing. And I'm just trying to give them little tidbits on certain things, and they're very receptive. They're not like looking at us like Mike. Obviously, Mike gets in their face. I'm not a in your face type of guy. I kind of pull him to the side and say, hey, I can tell you, Mike is all up in him. Yeah, he's all up in him. He is all up in him. It's cool because I know when I think I spoke on this last week, when those guys, the Michael Irvins, the Eddie Browns, the Brian Blaze, even Nat Moore was on our sideline a couple of times because he was doing the games, and sometimes he would be down. I just picked their brain. I asked a lot of questions, and to hear these guys sometimes ask questions, it's very refreshing because that means that they want to be better. They want to continue to Beard's doing a great job. That staff, those wide receiver coaches they have in there, they're doing an awesome job with those guys. But it's just another set of eyes that, whether it's Mike or myself or Reggie or whoever, Santana, whoever is there can say, hey, this is what I saw. This is what you can do. It might have been in the 90s or it might have been in the thousands or whatever when we did it. But for the most part, a lot of the stuff still works. So it's cool to be around those guys. It kind of gives you the itch again. It kind of gives you the itch. When I'm taking those kids to school and they're all four in the back and they're screaming and they're yelling and throwing fruit snacks and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at me, I'm like, this is where I want to be. But then when I go down there and I get around those guys, I'm like, man, I have so much knowledge about this game. I got to give it up. I can't just hold it in. I can't just die with it all up in it. Let me give it to somebody else who needs it, who deserves it. Those kids they're balling, and I'm very proud of them.
Well, all four of them caught touchdown passes in the game, undoubtedly due to the inspirational words that you gave them first thing in the morning when they were half asleep. So that was a good thing. The other thing I wanted to ask you, all right, so then you get to the stadium and now you're seeing like so many people and you have so many relationships up there at Louisville, and you were going from sideline to sideline and working the whole place. What was that like for you?
It was pulling up to the stadium. It was kind of weird because the last time I did it like that, I was the away team. I was at Kentucky. I was a Kentucky coach. And, so there was a lot of hatred, like we got to kill these guys. They're our rival. We're their big brother, or they're our little, it's all kind of stuff. But then I'm looking at the stadium, I'm going, man, there was a lot of good in that stadium. And then when I walked in there and saw Lamar Jackson's name up on the building, I was like, wow, I was able to help this legacy. That kid up there is, it felt good. It was. I walked around. I talked to people. But when it was about game time, I had to focus in, like I was playing again. I had to focus in. There was no time to talk at that point. It was focus time.
Well, thankfully, the Hurricanes came through and gave you something really, really good to focus on. And it wasn't pretty. Special teams couldn't have been worse. The defense had a tough time with that offense. It was they had some very nice looking skill players. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, number one was the best player on the field. And it's becoming kind of obvious that he's not going to let them lose. It's going to take a lot to beat Miami this season. It really is. I mean, talk about a guy that just rises to the occasion at every moment and knows exactly what he needs to do at every given point in the game. Let me start with you on this one. I mean, you're getting to see this, and I know it's unlike anything that you've ever seen. But the way that Cam Ward is carrying this program on his back, having just gotten here, has to be impressive to you as well.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely exceeded everybody's expectations. When he came here, obviously people knew how good of a quarterback Cam Ward was, but I don't think anyone projected him to have these type of numbers. I think I saw his statistics through 7 games compared to like the last 3 or 4 Heisman winning quarterbacks, and he has more passing yards and more touchdowns than anything. Like I said, I don't think anybody expected it, but Boy or Miami fans and supporters of the Hurricanes very happy to see that. And like you mentioned in that game, just another amazing game. You mentioned 4 different wide receivers, scoring touchdowns. The running game looked amazing, and I feel like if that running game continues to develop, continues to become a real threat like the passing game, it's like, how can you stop this offense? Like I was, like I said before we got on the air, I was watching Florida State's defensive coordinator Adam Fuller kind of talk about Miami. He's like, when a team is executing at that level, it's like, what can you do besides try to slow them down? And one of the reporters asked him, they've had some mistakes and things like that. He's like, well, they haven't had enough mistakes. They're 7-0 right now, and I kind of feel like that sums it all up. Miami's just executing at a very high level on the offensive side of the ball. You have to give a lot, if not most of that credit to Cam Ward. Obviously, the offensive line plays a huge part. The wide receivers are running back. At the end of the day, he's the heart and soul of that offense, and it runs through him. And like I said, he's exceeding everyone's expectations, including mine.
Yeah, LT, the past several weeks, like I know I was like a little hard in my evaluation of those guys. Like I had a firm conviction that they had to get the running game going. They had to get more guys involved than just Restrepo on a more frequent basis. And man, it all came together at Louisville. I mean, I got to give kudos to the offensive line. What a job of run blocking they did. And we'll talk a lot more about the run game when our guest tonight, Stephen McGuire, comes on the show. But some of the blocks that I saw on Saturday were the best that I've seen this season, and they really were a complete offense in this game.
I mean, they came out and you go back and you replay last week when I said the run game. We got to run the ball. We have to run the ball to establish. It's getting to the latter part of the season. We want to be able to run it down their throats. And Mark Fletcher started. 6 didn't start. Those guys, they're kind of interchangeable. Mark Fletcher played great. He had that fumble. You can't blame that fumble. He was running. That guy just made a hell of a play. Okay. And then Martinez, instead of pouting, and that's the thing. When you have depth, you can't have powders. You got to have guys that are eager to get their chance, to get the opportunity to get in there. He gets in there. He has some great runs. He had a run earlier in the game where He basically carried the whole team. And his guys, they were rumbling. They were holding him up. He was turning his legs. He picked up like 15 more extra yards. And then that touchdown run. You can't say, Gary, that touchdown run was he hit that safety and woo! There it is right here. Here it is. Boom! There he is. Get off me, boy. There he is. We going in the end zone. I like that. But I was happy to see that primarily because a lot of people that don't really understand the game, it's just like, hey, we need to run, we need to do this. And do you not understand? This is about a long season here. You can't just throw the ball the whole time. We would love to, but you can't. And when you run the ball effectively, just like we did, we ran the ball at Cal. Might have been 3 yards, might have been 4 yards, might have been 2 yards, but we ran the ball. They're getting tackles. They're getting 18 tackles in the first half. Well, where were they in the second half? Where were they in the fourth quarter? They were done. They were tired. You run the ball effectively. You wear down the defense. Guys in the fourth quarter, especially with the guy that's coming on tonight, Stephen McGuire, those defensive guys had to make business decisions. The fourth quarter. Are we going to the playoffs? I don't think so. So why do I want to throw my shoulder in there and get it dislocated and I'm going to be walking around looking like the humpback from Notre Dame for the rest of my life? You know what I mean? So they dive in that ankle. The guys really, truly make business decisions in the fourth quarter. So when a guy like Martinez, a guy like Fletcher, they're pounding that ball, they're running that thing, especially in the fourth quarter, it's a good thing. So I'm enjoying the fact those guys are all healthy, and that's another thing. We got 4 guys that are all healthy, actually 5 that are healthy, and we can run the ball. The offensive line has shown that they can block. They did some nice things against Louisville. Gonna be eager to see what they do against Florida State. I would like for them to run that freaking counter play that they ran on us. When was it? 2 years ago that we haven't stopped. They must have ran that play 30 times in a row. So hell, let's just run that damn play to put it right down their throat, Mario. Come on.
They had 72 offensive plays in the game, and 40 of them were running plays. How about that? That's I think the first time this year that they've had more running plays than pass plays. And to me, that is so much progress, guys. I mean, they're going to need to be able to be multifaceted later in the year. And there was no better time than up there at Louisville when they're playing an offense that's as explosive as that Louisville offense to, roll out the type of physical running game that they showed in that game. So I just felt leaving there, other than, all the thoughts that were flying through my head about, how Lamar is the man in Louisville. I walked out of that stadium thinking, man, like this was a big step forward for the Canes today.
It definitely was. And like I said, the running game was there, the passing game was there on the offensive side. Obviously, on the defensive side, you got to give Louisville credit. Those guys made some plays. I told you guys, Brom is a hell of a coordinator. And when they know exactly what defense you're in, they're going to kill you. And for the most part, they did what they did their thing. Our defense at the end, though, I really believe our D-line put so much pressure on them towards the end that it caused some errant throws, and we were able to put them behind the 8 ball as far as, first and or second and 12 or second and 14 because of sacks or anything. I like what happened at the end of the game. We were able to get the stops when we needed to get the stops.
Falconer says that Xavier Restrepo is Barrios, but possibly better. Very similar type of players. Barrios is faster for sure, but he's not as thick as Xavier is, and probably can't use his body to get open the way Xavier can. So in some ways they're similar because they're slot receivers, but in other ways they're very different, I would say, of those two, right, Lamar?
Yeah, I think Restrepo was built like, he has a running back build a little bit. He's lazy thick now. You ain't gonna just bring him down by a little arm tackle. He's a very crafty too. He's very crafty, and that's the thing. He knows how to change the speed in the middle of the route. He knows how to get separation, whether getting a little chicken wing, as I call it. But he knows all the tricks, and he's been doing this a long time, so he's very crafty.
Tucker's calling him Rudy. I don't know that I'd call Xavier Rudy.
No, Rudy was number 38 from USF. Yeah, that was Rudy, the little guy from USF. That was Rudy. The walk-on, that was Rudy. Xavier Restrepo ain't no walk-on, dog.
Yeah,
he ain't no walk-on. He's a
this
bad
guy's
player.
getting ready to rewrite every record, every receiving record at the U before this season's over. And I don't have to tell you the long list of great players that have played receiver for Miami. I mean, this is a hell of an accomplishment that he's putting together this season, no doubt. So the special teams fell apart.
Yeah.
I mean, fell apart bad. Gave up the fake punt. They had the kickoff return for a touchdown. You're on the road, LT. That's a lot to overcome.
Yeah, they just, on that kickoff return, one thing I could say, watching that guy, the first two kickoff returns, I said, if 17, because 17 was the guy that was getting down. I don't even know who 17 is. He was getting down there, forcing the cut, but the guy was hitting it. I mean, when you have a kick returner, what you want him to be able to do is nonstop hit that hole before it closes, because it closes so fast on special. And that's what our 24, the speed guy, he has to get better at. He kind of hesitates a little bit. He's fast, and I don't think he really understands that you got to hit it. This isn't high school. You got to hit that hole, and you got to take. And that's what their guy did. And after the second return, I said, "Hey guys," and we were kicking into the wind. And Borregales has a great leg, but we were kicking into the wind, and the ball was just getting held up there. And I said, "Hey," I was telling some guys on the sideline, "That dude's gonna bust one, because he is hitting that hole hard. He's getting hit. It's a little pile up, but he's gonna squirt through there." And sure enough, he got through there in the fake punt. Wow, that was a ballsy call by Jeff Brom. It was ballsy. They called us. I mean, it happened. But when you say special teams didn't play well, the most important play that was made on special teams was recovering the damn onside. So kudos to the special team coach for that. Because if we don't recover that onside, are we happy right now? I don't know. I don't know.
I see. We didn't see that coming. We've been covering the team all along. Obviously, we didn't see that type of breakdown in special teams coming. There had been no signs of that.
Yeah, none at all. But it's funny. So you guys were actually there watching it on TV. The ESPN announcers like, "Man, I think they're gonna fake it here." Little do you know, they fake it that same play, and I'm like, "Dang, how do these guys see it?" And Miami staff doesn't really get onto it. But
they were probably at practice and saw him practice it.
Something like that. They got it right.
There you go.
Get paid the big bucks. But I mean, like LT said, they got the onside kick. That's the biggest play on special teams. And Borregales hit that 55-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Another one. He's been pretty good all year. Making those little field goals. Obviously, when he needs to. So just tweak a little bit of things. On that special teams unit. But I said it last week. That Lacey kid, number 5, transfer South Alabama. He's explosive, and just watching what he did last year. Seeing him back at kickoff, I was like, oh my gosh, this might get a little tricky. He broke one off, but at the end of the day, Miami won, so you can't be too mad about everything.
Hey, and Borregales kicked that 55-yarder. That was into the wind too. That was the same way, right?
He's got some damn leg, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Billy DeLulu, LT, wants to know what you were saying to Restrepo on the sideline.
Well, after Mike got out of his face, I think I was just saying, man, great catch, bro. Great catch. I'm a fan too, man. I'm a fan of those kids. So I think I was just saying great catch, and I don't know what the hell was going on. I was just so excited. Anytime a receiver, obviously I feel close to those guys because, just being around them every week, you become like friends with them, so to see them all smiling after the game, during the game, it really meant a lot because, you got to understand when some of these guys only been here, they haven't been here a whole year. So to get it cohesive in that room where you got a lot of I guys, and to get them to think we, the you, is it's a pretty big ups for their coaching staff to be able to get them all to be on the same page and enjoy each other's company and pull for each other. That's the most important. They got to pull for each other and they got to make each other better. So I was very happy with those kids, those guys. They're not kids now, they're guys.
And let's talk a little bit about the defense. We talk so much about the offense for justifiable reasons, but the defense has really been struggling the last 2 weeks. And, Lamar, I know you were out there in the preseason quite a bit, and I was out there a little bit as well. And, it's like there were days where, we have the best passing game in the country. We have the best offense, arguably, in the country. There were days where the defense was dominating them and was really making it hard on them in practice. And I don't understand what's happening here now that the season's here. I guess they had the mental busts against Cal. And then this past week, I thought it was more physical. Louisville was just faster, quicker. Those little scat backs they got quick feet. And we're making it hard to tackle them. Is this something we should be concerned about in the big picture, or is this just a fundamental matchup scenario that we're seeing right here, guys?
I think it's a combination of both. Again, I coach with Jeff Brown, man. He's a Petrino disciple, but he's a modern Petrino. So he's bringing he's evolved, and it's a very complicated offense to try to stop. And especially, again, if they know what you're in, that makes it even harder. They're very.
Are you suggesting that they were stealing signals?
They're really good at a lot of stuff. So, and they make if they get a bead on you, boy, they woo wee. I'm just saying, but it makes it a lot easier. But their players showed up, and the one thing I also said in that meeting, those guys, there's a lot of guys over there that were here or wanted to be here. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Miami, the South Florida kids over there, so they're going to play the best that they can play because they know that South Florida's watching. This is their opportunity to show everybody why they either left Miami or didn't get recruited by Miami and felt like they should have. So I knew it was going to be a tough game. I knew those guys were going to play. They had some guys from South Florida really showed up. But at the end, I think our defense, they made the plays when they had to, especially in the fourth quarter, because that third quarter was crazy. Was that not the craziest third quarter you ever, the fumble, the kickoff return, the fake punt? It was, if you didn't bet the over on this game, you messed up. Because, man, it was easy money. It was easy. I'm not again. I don't bet on games, but I tell you what, somebody would ask me, do you take the over? I'd have been like, the over better be over 50. Because they're going to run the score. There you go. Whatever it was, they got obliterated. They got obliterated. It was easy money. That's probably the easiest bet of the year. But I just knew that it was going to come down to, and I said this, I felt like our defense was going to be able to stop their offense more times than their defense was going to be able to stop our offense. I really felt that way. And I knew it was going to come down to maybe 3 stops. We even had 3 stops, and they were going to have none. We only kill ourselves. That fumble, that was a great play by them. That was a great play. Okay, that was Mark Fletcher played a hell of a game. He ran the ball hard. When you're down there on the field and see him squeeze through those little gaps and then come out and then put that shoulder down on the guy, put that thing on him. That's a beauty to watch. But he played a hell of a game. It was a great play. And obviously Martinez, he had some runs, and then they brought 28 in there a couple of times. It was a great thing to watch us run the ball, because that once they start running that ball, those linebackers had to prepare themselves to come up and make tackles. And now that opens up the lane down the field after play action passes where you'll be able to get some things behind them, and that's what we're able to do. Sam Brown had a game of his life here, best game he's had here. I mean, he was breaking tackles, doing spin moves. You know, Jacoby didn't start the game, but he gets in there and scores a touchdown. Oh, here's Sam Brown's play right here. Boom. Look at this. Get off me, boy. Look at it. Sam Brown right there. Get off there. There he is. Okay.
Nice spin move.
Yeah, like he pressed the 0 button on the PlayStation 5.
But you know, the thing is, and it's gotten a little ugly the last couple weeks on defense, and they've had a lot of bad plays. But at the end of the day, as bad as it might seem on individual plays, you know, you still got Reuben Bain over there. You still got Simeon Barrow playing pretty damn well this year. Good. You still got Mesidor, who's capable of making a play. You still got Tyler Barron. He may have disappeared since the FAMU game, but you never know when he might come back. Come back, Tyler Barron. We need you to come back. You know, you still got Kiko. I know he's been struggling last few weeks. The fans are all over him because he's not playing up to Kiko standards. But he's still capable of making plays. Wesley Basaint's capable. So my point is that you got a lot of guys that are still capable of making plays even when they're struggling. And you're right, Lamar. You do have that feeling. Like these guys will find a way to make just enough plays to give Cam Ward the opportunity to find a way to win it. And that's what's going on, you know, right now. And no guy better than Cam Ward to fit that bill. That, you know.
Matter of fact, speaking of Cam Ward, man, you see those headphones?
Oh my God! Yeah, you see that?
I mean, they're about $300, man. I'm trying to slide them. I'm trying to slide me one. I'm trying to. Well, don't leave them things sitting around. To all you players, I'm saying I don't steal, but I will borrow. Okay, I will borrow.
I'm pretty sure that Bose made a donation of those, and you know, yeah, I mean, retail they're probably for the whole team they're probably like $25,000.
Right.
But for Bose they don't cost $25,000, so they, you know.
Yeah. And then on top of that, the Adidas commercial.
Yep.
Cam is becoming a brand. He's becoming a national brand now. The Adidas jumped on board. He's an Adidas guy that sets him up probably for next year, wherever he is. I mean, he is becoming a national brand. Kudos to Adidas. Kudos to both. I mean, this is a hot guy. You got guys in it. Let me see. Michael Parsons got the Cam Ward jersey on in his podcast. I mean, you got people doing the celebration. He is the talk of the country. Yes. Yeah, you gotta hold your nose and do it.
Oh, you gotta hold your nose while you do it.
You gotta do something like that. But yeah, he is the talk of the country. You got people all around the country. You got, you know, they're watching the games. We become must-see TV again. And the world is so much better. Because for a while, we were only must-see TV because people wanted to see us lose. And now they want to see this kid. Yeah, they probably still want to see us lose. You know, that hence embrace the hate. But they get to see Cam Ward too. How many times somebody said, "Oh, Miami, but Cam Ward, that quarterback, good Lord." How many times somebody said that to you, I see?
A lot. Everybody. I mean, everybody. Like the Cal game and the Virginia Tech game, I had people texting me, "Oh man, they're coming back." I'm like, please, just let him do him, man. Just let the guy finish his game. Cam Ward, I think, is the best quarterback in the country. He's the best closer in the country, and we've seen that for 3 straight weeks. You know, he's that guy, like you mentioned. He's becoming a huge brand, you know, down here in South Florida. We asked him about that a little bit today, and he's really embracing it. You know, Simeon Barrow even made a joke. He's going to buy us scat packs and all this stuff. And, you know, with all these endorsement deals coming, I won't be surprised if, you know, some Miami players or somebody ends up with something nice for him. But it's awesome to see that, you know, a guy like him coming from, you know, West Columbia, no offers, you know, out of high school to now being the top of college football. And with him being such a humble guy as well, too, you know, we get the chance to see a guy, you know, kind of grow from being, I'm not going to say a nobody, but an underdog to the top of the college football world. And, you know, you love to see something like that.
Well, I can tell you this, just so you know, Gary, and it's just me. I don't talk to Cam Ward. I don't talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm very superstitious. It's like a pitcher. Pitching no hitter. You don't mess with him. It's like a kicker. You leave him alone. I don't talk to the guy. I think the only conversation I had with him was when I brought my son to practice and we took a picture. Other than that, I don't talk to him. I just watch him, and then when he starts coming over there, I watch his reaction with those guys and talking to, and I walk away. I'm very superstitious. It's like a pitcher. He's pitching a no hitter right now, and I'm gonna let him keep doing his thing, baby.
All right, the great Stephen McGuire is going to be joining us shortly. But first, let's hear from our friends there at CaneSport.
Welcome to CaneSport.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, CaneSport has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. CaneSport, the spot Miami fans shop.
And yeah, guys, it doesn't matter what. Yeah, look at that, man. Number 24, huh?
Yeah.
They already got the 24 jerseys.
This is the orange 24 right here. Can't hardly see the.
Let me give you a bigger screen here, LT. So
I see out. My bad, brother. All right, that's the 24. Let's see what else we got here. It's like Christmas around this thing. Let's see what we got. We got the orange. For all you guys want to show off your little muscles at the game. Make sure you put on deodorant. Okay, it's nothing worse than a musty fan. Trying to give you a hug. All right. Look at this right here. Bam. Ooh, that's sweet right there, baby. Ooh, I might cop one of these. This is nice coaching stuff. You got the Jason Taylor wear right here. Sleeveless with the hoodie. For all you Jason Taylor fans,
I don't think you got the body for that, LT.
It doesn't come with his sweat, so you can't have that. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. Look at this orange polo. This is go nice on the golf course, and it will go nice on Saturday at 7 p.m. at the Rock. Here's the orange we talked about. These are coaching shirts right here. Nice. Let's see what else. Ooh, what did I say? FS Doodoo? Is that what it said? FS Poo. There you go. FS Poo. FS Poo. There you go. You got that. Hold on, got a couple more, Gary. That's sweet right there. I think I wore this one game. It's a nice shirt. This is a really comfortable shirt here. I'm no Vanna White, but I'll try. Look at it. Miami Hurricanes, big letters there. And here we go. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Bam!
There it is.
Come on now. Come on. You got to get you one of these. CaneSport, baby. Woo-wee! And, of course, team shirt right here. I saw the team, a lot of guys on the team wear this shirt right here around. It's a nice, comfortable shirt. Very comfortable shirts. Very comfortable. Got hats. Oh, by the way, I know everybody's been asking about this hat, the Lamar Thomas road trip hat. Sold out, baby. Sold out. Sold out. Everybody wants it. This is my deal right here. You see me on the sidelines. Look at that hat right there. Ooh, that thing's sweet. Sold out. Sorry. But Brett will be buying some more if he can find them. And here you go. You got this hat. You got this hat. This is a sweet hat here. Kind of like mine a little bit. So we got a little plastic right there. And old school.
That might be a good one for you, I see.
Hey, this is old school right here, Gary.
Yes.
This is old school right here. Trucker hat, old school with that old logo. Awesome.
I like
awesome
that other one for
trucker.
IC. That other one would be good for IC.
Which one? This one right here?
The one before that. Yeah, that one's nice.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I see what hats, man. He
wears hats. He wears hats.
Wears hats?
He's got hats for every team in the country. Baseball, football. He's got it all, LT.
Okay, my bad, I see. No disrespect.
Anyway, guys, it doesn't matter whether it's hats, jerseys, polos, T-shirts, whatever you possibly could want as a Canes fan, you can get at CaneSport at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. It's 15 minutes north of Hard Rock Stadium. You can go there before the game, load up. They'll even sell you, if you don't have your tailgate stuff and you want to, if you're new to tailgating and you want to get into it, this will be a great tailgating week out there at the Rock on Saturday with the game at 7 o'clock. You can go by. They'll sell you tables and chairs and everything you need for your tailgate. You can get your gear. And I didn't forget La Spada. There's La Spada Sub Shop next door. They feed Lamar every Wednesday night, and you can load up on your food. It's like a one-stop shop, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Over there in that shopping center at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. So they've got every size for men, women, kids, babies. They'll even dress up your pet. So make sure you make time. Go by CaneSport. It's more than a store. It's a true experience. If you can't make it to the store itself, you can shop them at caneswear.com any hour of the day. And just you load up on the best and the greatest Miami Hurricanes gear that's available anywhere out there. CaneSport is where it's at. So get the
and Gary
or caneswear.com. Sir.
And Gary, if you can't make it to the game, guys, go ahead and run by the Carolina Ale House in Weston 2. I'm telling you, you won't be sorry. And they got the Gators are there on Saturday, so it's always great to come in and bust them up a little bit, move them out the way. The Gators are there, they are there, and the Hurricanes come in and take over. FSU fans, you don't even have a chance. You might as well bow down to FIU. Okay, just bow down. Okay, but go check out the Carolina Ale House over there. They do a good job. I'm there. If I'm not watching the game, I'm over there. So you might see me there. So come on over there too.
All right. So I'm watching the game the other day, and I see this play. Okay, Mark Fletcher, and look how he hits that hole. And I'm thinking, my God. Has Stephen McGuire been reincarnated? I mean, one back in the backfield, he takes the handoff, bounces it outside, and hits the secondary hard. I'm like, I'm watching Stephen McGuire all over again here, LT.
Except for right there at the end on that 50-yard line, that guy would have been crushed. Like, he wouldn't have given that, he would have given that forearm right to his face mask. Greedy Steve.
But yes, I'm thinking Stephen McGuire. So it's only appropriate that we bring Stephen McGuire on the show tonight, and there he is.
What's happening, gentlemen?
The man himself.
He got a fresh haircut. Look at you.
I'm already
ready.
Down to Miami tomorrow. I'm flying down tomorrow, man.
He will be here.
Yeah,
Greedy Steve will be here. Are you excited, man?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm only pissed off about the Rock, man. What's with the Hard Rock Stadium charging close to $200 and $300 for some goddamn parking, man? What's up with that, man? Holy cow.
Hey, you should have gone to the Taylor Swift concert the other night. They had to wait like 3 or 4 hours to get an Uber to go home.
Oh, my God. I'm going to Uber to the
game. In the middle of the night.
Hey, if you Uber to the game, let me tell you something. Where you get picked up, it was a long way. You might as well. I made a mistake, bro. I made a mistake and Uber to the Dolphin game thinking, oh, well, okay, ain't no big deal. I didn't have a parking pass. Man, me and my wife, we must have walked. It must have been 10 miles to the Uber pickup spot. So maybe one of the boys can give you a ride, bro. Just
I'm trying to catch a ride with you, man. Shit.
Yeah, okay, we can do that.
Yeah,
man, you don't want an Uber, dog. Not that. You can Uber there. And they drop you off, but the way it ride, it ain't the right thing. It ain't the right thing.
How do they get the cars to get everybody home? I don't know how they do it.
Well, they put the Uber pickup so far away from the stadium, man. It's ridiculous. I didn't know where I was going. My legs were burning. You know, it felt like I was running 110s again. We're trying to get home to save money with the babysitter. I mean, there was all kind of stuff going on, man.
All right.
That's a reminder for you. And I'll remind you on Saturday too, man. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. You know, I wanted to bring you on the show tonight. You know, the running game finally showed up. The questions I have for a running back in a crowded room. how do you guys do it? What is your mindset? Because you got to get yourself in the flow of the game, and you get pulled out. What's the mindset of a running back with maybe three guys that play around the same time? What is that mindset?
Well, your mindset is that, like me, back when I played, like I knew my mindset was I was a short yardage guy. So I know when it was like 2nd and 2 or 3rd and 1, I already knew my mindset. They really gonna call me, and I got to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the closer for a baseball team. You know, you got to have that mindset. This is it. And when your number's called, you just got to go out there and produce. You know that. That's how.
But see, that was early when you became the guy. I mean, how was that? You got all these guys, Martin Patton, you got all these guys behind you, putting them in. Do you feel like as a running back, you have to stay in the game to get your true feel for the game, or you okay with being sub?
Nah, at a certain point, you know what? Like, there's a flow that kind of goes with the game, like, I never forget, like 1991, that Florida State game, I was in the flow. I was just gashing them, offensive line was doing their thing. I was just gashing them 10, 20, 15 yards. I had that flow, but then when I fumbled, coach took me out. So I had to get my flow back, And, he put Larry Jones in, but and I don't think Patton didn't play that game, but Larry Jones came in and he did his thing, But your mindset has to be right, and as a running back, you need that that flow for the game. All right, reading the linebacker, reading the the blocks for the lineman. If he's going to kick him out, I'm gonna cut it up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Unlike the wide receivers. Wide receivers just go out there, you run your routes and whatever. But running backs, you get that ball, you got to have a feel for that game.
Well, I think you're way too humble. You were way more than a short yardage running back, Stephen. I mean, you had 1,953 yards in your career. You graduated as the second leading rusher in school history. You had 35 career touchdowns, matched only by the great Edgerrin James.
Yes.
I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on. I mean, you were absolutely way more than a short yardage running back. In fact, I'm looking at this year's running backs, Fletcher and Martinez, and I wasn't kidding. Like, they are reminding me of Stephen McGuire, because they're bigger backs like you were, and they hit the hole the way you did. And it's not the same offense, obviously, so it looks a little different. Yeah. But there's a lot of Stephen McGuire in these two guys.
I was watching Fletcher. Fletcher's a beast, I mean, the dude's like 6'2", 225 pounds, and he runs downhill hard, man, and I love it. And I know Mario's loving it too because he wants to establish the run. And as you can see, once we establish that run, everything else opens up for the offense. It's simple. It's such a simple concept. Even back in the days, if you look at all the Miami Hurricane teams. If we establish the run in the pass, we are very hard to beat. We are so hard to beat. We could beat you with the run one game or the pass one game, but when everything is clicking, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. I'll never forget that Houston game, man. Oh, that was a beautiful thing, man, wasn't it? Look at that. We had the pass
because of the run game.
Thank you.
They opened up the pass, and because of the pass game, opened up the run.
Thank you.
They couldn't stop us.
Thank you. It was just a beautiful thing. So,
look at this Damian Martinez touchdown run from the other day, Stephen, and you tell me this isn't all you. I mean,
boom, 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 cut up in the hole. Boom, oh, boom, boom. Look at that. Oh, that was beautiful.
That's all you. That could have been one of your highlights.
Just so you know, that's how Greedy Steve looked when he was going over to the Cal. Nobody could stop him going to see Miss Tight Lady, Miss Sarah. You couldn't stop him.
Right?
You can only hope to contain him as he was going to get 8 steaks what I mean? That's not. You knew when Greedy Steve was on the way to the cab, you ain't gonna stop him, dog. You ain't stopping him.
That run right there was beautiful. He did like a little jump cut, got right back into the hole, and just took off, man. That was a beautiful run right there, man. Then was it him or Mark Fletcher that had another run where they dragged like
him.
the whole like 15
Yeah.
yards down the field. You know what I'm saying? I was like, holy cow, man.
Yeah, that play took too long. The file was too big. I couldn't get it loaded in our system here.
That was a beautiful run, man.
As you watched them the whole year, you know, I know you've been waiting for the run game to explode. I mean, what's that been like? Have you been like throwing shoes at the TV, going, "Hey man, run the ball"?
Because you have to establish the run, and it opens up everything. You know, it just makes everything so much easier. You know what I'm saying? You got the receivers. Restrepo, he's a beast, man. I mean, that guy right there, man. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, dude, that dude is unbelievable, man. I mean, he makes plays. That's it. He makes plays. You know, short yard, third and whatever. You get extra
fourth and whatever.
You get that guy the ball, man.
He caught it on his back,
hands, man.
He caught it on his back.
I should
against Virginia Tech. Big play of the year. Big play. In case the viewers don't know, this is Stephen McGuire. We came into school together. We were classmates, Mario, Gino, from Brooklyn, New York. Guys, you can't hear his voice? Brooklyn, New York. I mean, he's definitely Brooklyn's finest. You know, he's Brooklyn. I used to always joke with him and say, "Dog, you wasn't good enough to play basketball, obviously. Because don't nobody come. Y'all ain't even got no grass up there. You know, how the hell you
We have
this
grass. Listen, we have grass in New York. I never forget, Coach Sala just said, "I thought y'all guys stopped playing football in New York City." I said, "What?" This is New York. Of course we have football, man.
Yeah, other than Central Park, I don't know that I've ever seen grass in New York.
Don't they call New York like the concrete jungle? Like, where's the grass at?
We have grass, believe you me. We have grass in New York City, man.
They play football in the street and it's chapel. That's what they do.
You know what? Unfortunately, that's where I learned that. I learned in the street, man.
Steve, I want to ask you, Steve. Obviously, you know, it's a Florida State week. You know, Miami's biggest rival, arguably. Just, you know, what are some of your favorite memories or your favorite memory playing against the Seminoles?
Oh man, we used to kill the Seminoles. I averaged like 100 and something yards against the Seminoles every time, man.
Hey, wait, let me stop you, Steve. Hold on, let me stop you. There was a safety from Fort Myers, IC.
No, come on.
His name was Leon Fowler. I think Steve ran him over every year. Like, literally. It got to the point at the last year, I said, "Damn, didn't you know this was coming, homeboy?" Good Lord.
I love Florida State, man. You know why I love Florida State? Because it was supposed to be the best against the best. You understand? It was it. Number one versus number two. Because that game right there was actually for the national championship.
In 1991,
yes,
this might have been your best game as a Hurricane against Florida State. You had 142 yards on 22 carries, and you scored the winning touchdown. That was the first wide right game. They tried to erase that on you, but you scored the winning touchdown in that game and had 142 yards that day.
Listen, Gary, I scored the first touchdown. Larry Jones scored the winning touchdown. I was gassed towards it. They kept giving me the ball.
I was wondering why Larry was in there, but I ain't say nothing. I was like, well, maybe they're going to score
the ball towards the end. I had nothing left, so the coach took me out, and Larry Jones came in, took it right on the end zone, man, which I didn't care, you know what I'm saying? He got it in there, and that was it, you know. But
and then the year before, you had 176 yards against Florida State.
Yeah.
So when Miami played Florida State, you were at your best.
Florida State killer.
Yeah, my old man, may he rest in peace, Ozzie, what's his name? Ozzie.
Oh, Ozzie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to call me the FSU killer. I said, all right, I'll take that.
Hey, man, all I know is as I'm running down the field, I'm looking back because I said He is definitely coming because he would break once he broke that first through the line. He was looking for somebody he wasn't going to outrun you, so he was looking for somebody to punish. See, that's what I was saying. Mark Fletcher on that 50 on that run, when he got to the 50, he put the Steve was gonna put that thing on you.
Yeah.
He was gonna put that He was gonna put that on you and try to run you over, and that's what he did against Florida State. So when they showed a little picture of Marvin Jones catching Larry Jones on the screen pass, where he lifted him up. But he didn't show they don't show all the pictures where Steve McGuire was putting that thing on Marvin Jones, shade tree. They don't want to show that picture.
Yeah.
Boom!
You're right about that.
And I was selling out too. Shade tree, you got ran over, dog.
Remember Marvin Jones made that tape.
Oh.
Remember? Luke had that tape with Marvin Jones talking smack.
So just so you know, since this is Florida week, Florida State week, back in the days, Luke had gone up there to do a concert in the Moon, I think it was, and he taped them after the concert talking smack.
Yeah,
and he brought it back home. He brought it back home, and I saw some guys tearing up like Jesse Armstead. I've never seen Jesse that mad because Marvin Jones kept calling him. He kept calling him. He wouldn't pronounce his name right.
Yeah.
Saying y'all talking about the Bermuda Triangle. We got the best linebacker. Y'all ain't nothing. And he called Jesse. I saw Jesse. It was tears in his eyes. I said, "Oh shit, he gonna kill somebody tomorrow." It was like the program movie. He was that linebacker. You talking about my mama?
Yeah.
It was, and it was again. We found ways to motivate ourselves, and all we needed was one little thing. And
that was it.
When we first got there, we learned, Steve, when we were freshmen, that video that they made, Deion Sanders slinging his curl juice everywhere, and the rest of them non-rappers, they doing that video. Those guys took it as we were freshmen. We said, "Oh crap." They're a little pissed off. Yeah.
Tiger punched the holes in the wall and everything. I was like, this dude is crazy.
Yes.
I was like, holy cow.
We were freshmen looking at all this going, oh, it's just a video. No, not to them guys. It wasn't. And we learned later the next year, it's personal. It's truly personal. But I can tell you this, Gary, we respect them. Because at least they took that ass whipping like men. They ain't take us off the schedule like Florida. So it's a lot of mutual respect when we get together between Miami and Florida State. A lot of respect. We respect their players, Derek Brooks, all those great players, T-Buck, all great, Clifton Abraham, all really. I can go on. They got some really good players.
Anthony, all those guys, Edgar Bennett, all those guys, great.
But that other school, nah, we ain't respecting them. Yeah. So, Steve, I got to ask you this.
What's up?
Okay. So, what would you like to see as the year continues with, either University of Miami football team?
I want to see them guys established to run a little bit more. Just like we did against Louisville. You know what I'm saying? The defense got to play a little bit better, but let's establish that run. And you know what? Everything's going to fall into place. Everything else will fall into place. I mean, it's kind of sitting right there for us because we got Duke. Duke is 5-1. I mean, you never know. Manny Diaz, got a little chip on his shoulder. Going to come back to the Hard Rock. You got Wake Forest not playing too good. You got Syracuse is doing pretty good. So hey, it's right there for us. As long as we establish that run and everything else will open up. Cam Ward do his thing. Man, that guy is the greatest, man. I haven't seen.
I was just about to ask you, what do you think? Give us your opinion of Cam Ward.
Cam Ward, I think that dude is good, man. I think he's great, man. Listen, I wish I could pay him another $2 or $3 million for next year.
Stephen,
for one more year.
People ask me, is he the best quarterback to ever play at Miami?
I mean,
that's kind of.
I mean,
he's getting there. You know what it is? Because it's only 1 year. You know what I'm saying? But this 1 year is special. Yeah. The stuff he's doing and how he handles himself, and you can see it on the field. He doesn't look. He never looks frustrated or flustered.
No.
He always looked calm. He got it. Even when he's going, he runs. He takes off. He runs. He goes to the sideline. Doesn't take any unnecessary hits. He's just like he's in control of everything.
Steve, let me ask you this: when you say he's in control, did you stay up and watch the Cal game? Did you watch the whole game, or did you fall asleep?
Yes, I stayed up and watched that game.
What did you say after that interception? Because I'm gonna tell you what I said. What did you say after the interception they took back for the touchdown?
I was like,
when he threw it back across field.
Yeah.
What did you say? How did you feel?
I felt, it was just, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a bad play every now and then, but hey, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? But he made up for it.
Yeah.
You understand? He made up for it. Interceptions, fumbles, all that stuff's going to happen. That's part of football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As long as he make up for it and he still took control of the team and managed it well and did what he had to do to get the win. That's all that matters.
But when somebody says, is he the best quarterback to ever play at Miami? And you're thinking back, Kelly, Kozar, Testaverde, Walsh, Erickson, Gino, Ken Dorsey.
How
do you answer that question? If he was to come back for another year, maybe.
But you say the best season ever by a quarterback in the University of Miami history. He continues to play well, and he keeps winning games.
Yeah.
Winning games.
Yeah, he keeps winning and takes us to the national championship, but that's the tough one right there, man.
It's a tough one, right? And how about this Restrepo kid who's about to wipe Lamar and Michael Irvin and Reggie Wayne and all these guys right out of memory? They're going to be gone, man.
Yeah.
Restrepo's taking over the record book.
Yeah, he is. Listen, that dude right there, you got to give it to him. I give him all the props, and he's definitely going to take all the records.
He can have them. No, we winning. He can have them.
Winning. That's it. I don't care, man.
Hey, man,
listen,
keep going. Keep going up top.
That's it. Keep going, baby. I'll take it, man.
Steve how many years were you police officer up in New York? You retired
20
now.
20 years, my brother.
20-year police officer. Did any of your football University of Miami locker room help you in being a policeman, being up there in New York? Did any of it help you? You had to have thick skin because being in the locker room at Miami, you better have. Yeah. So I'm sure that you weren't given donuts all the time by people up there. So I'm sure they had some choice words for you. You probably like you always did, laughed it off.
That's it. Yeah, it's part of it's part of the job, So, police officers, we always call to people when in their worst time. So people are not going to respect us, and sometimes it's a tough job, And I like law enforcement. I respect my law enforcement brothers and sisters, and that goes out there and doing their job. My son's a cop down in Miami-Dade County,
wow.
And hey, it's a job. And I told my son, as long as you treat people with respect, people are going to respect you. And that's about it. You know what I'm saying?
On the WhatsApp group, we had a couple guys that we took bets. We said that we haven't found out the truth, but we said most guys say you spent the majority of your time at the donut shop. I'm just telling you, Kevin Harris is the main one that said.
I know Steve Nasty said that.
They said Steve arrested no one ever in 20 years, but he had donuts with everybody.
Hey, I got a good question. Is Mike Irvin gonna come to the rest of the games, man? Because we need him, man.
Get the ranch.
I think he's our good luck charm. Hey, tell Mario to keep flying him in or whatever he's doing, pay for his hotel or whatever. Because as long as he winning, Mike Irvin's on the sideline. We good.
Just so you know, it was brought up that ever since Mike's been coming, we've been having close games.
Yeah.
So, like maybe they don't want him there. Yeah, he will be there. He will be there on Friday night with that ugly shirt on that everybody wants now.
Everybody wants that shirt. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody wants that ugly
Everybody
shirt.
wants that shirt down.
It was in this store.
Was it sold out?
How long ago was it in the store, Ken? It was in the store for 10 years? Oh, so 10 years ago that shirt was in the store.
And nobody bought it. And when Mike Irvin wore it, everybody.
Nobody. Now he's like, he wants me to wear it. I said, absolutely not. I have style, bro. I'm not wearing that.
Well, you can't wear Mike Irvin stuff?
No, I'm not wearing that. Shit is ugly. But, people want to wear it because, he walks around and he does
exactly,
this. And,
exactly.
Hey, you do your thing, Mike, but I don't want it. I don't even want to get it. Nobody I know. But everybody wants it. That's the topic of every question. Hey, man, do you know where I can get Mike Irvin's shirt? No, I don't know. I don't know.
I figured that.
Gary, how many times you been asked? I mean, it's where do you get Mike Irvin?
At least
man.
Because
the
Mike Irvin won that
man,
shirt every game. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
He wins it every game.
So the equipment man at Miami, he said to me, basically, people have been calling and asking where can they get the shirt. Did you give him that shirt? He goes, no. I've never even seen that shirt before. It's not Adidas, so It is a prime topic for everybody. Where did Mike Irvin get the shirt, and where can people buy it and purchase it? So,
well, I guarantee you this. I guarantee you, Adidas is probably going to start mass producing that joint right now.
Or something, yeah. And Bose, the headset company, decided we better jump in now before that shirt gets too popular. And they sent Cam Ward about 100 headsets this week to give away to everybody. You saw them?
I saw that on Facebook. Yeah,
everything we've been doing this season. Y'all get back in the locker room. I got a little upgrade from y'all.
Let me show y'all the details. So we got the hurricane on the top. Okay. But then if you flip it, we got the bird on the side. See what I want.
Look at the details.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's canceling.
Oh yeah, we ready.
So that's the new hot thing now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Where they can get those headsets.
Yeah.
I'm hot. I want.
Those are hot right there.
Hey, when you go down there, if you see one on the floor,
I'm going down there tomorrow.
Bar it for me. Bar it. Just bar it for me.
Tomorrow.
Bar it, dog. I don't know what. Hey, I don't know where they're being sold. I don't know. There will be, I'm sure Rhett's gonna try to buy a bunch of them and put them in here if he can too. Am I right, Ken? Of course.
Listen. If Brett does that, tell him I want the market price, man. I don't want that fair market. I don't want that. I want that made up market price.
You want that? You want wholesale?
He wants the. Stephen McGuire said he wants the touchdown half price slice. So we got to keep that. We'll figure it out. Yeah, that's a nice gift. Could you imagine? Steve, could you imagine? And we talk about this all the time. What life would be like if we were in the NIL era?
Oh, please. Well, number one, there'd have been too many scandals because you know how Facebook.
They're even doing back pay for guys like the last 8 years or something.
Yeah, I
but
saw that.
They're not going back far enough for you two, but.
Hey, dog.
Man, there would have been too much stuff going on, man, with the iPhones and everything going on. That'd have been hell nah.
I know you would have had at least 3 to 4 restaurants. And knowing you'd have had at least a hamburger shop. You'd have had all kind of stuff. Knowing you, for sure. Knowing my guy.
I never forget that game after Texas. We at the bar. The guy was giving us you You took around about four bottles of Dom Perignon up to your room. I'll never forget that. And I took 2 bottles. I guess that dude won a big bet back there. He was at the bar. What you want? You said Dom Perignon. I said, oh shit, let me get one too. The dude said, take one. Then Lamar took another one and another one. I said, damn.
Hey, we enjoyed our time in college. Let me tell you.
Yes, we did, man. We
the
did.
NIL we were born too early.
Yes,
maybe it was okay we didn't get it because who knows how.
Yeah,
because they would have. At that time, we were on top of the world. They probably would have canceled it just to try to give us a death penalty. Put it that way.
You right about that. You damn sure right.
So man. Steve, let me ask you this: with you coming to the game, what do you want to see out of Miami against Florida State? What I already know what the answer is going to be. What do you want to?
I want to see you run the ball down their throats, man. Just how we did back in the days, man. Just run the ball. I never forget. Was it 1990? I think we had like 100 and something yards in I think in the first half or something like that. I had like 70 or 80. I think Leonard had like 100 or something like that.
I think we completed 3 passes that game. I think we completed 3 passes.
Yeah. Just take the ball and run. Just run it down their throats.
Lamar would love to see that. Then maybe he could stay in the record book.
Hey,
he's
man.
Done.
I'm done. Once Restrepo the only thing I got left is I'm second to Mike in touchdowns. I think he had 26. I got 23. So once he has 16 now, when he passed that, I'm pretty much a nobody.
Records are meant to be broken anyway. So
yes, they are.
It's all
yes,
good.
They are.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. It was fun while it lasted.
That's it.
I appreciate it being mentioned. And, Restrepo, even today, they asked him, what's it like having Michael Irvin and Reggie Wayne around? And he was like, well, Lamar Thomas, he brought my name up. So it was kind of cool that, put me in that mix of, Santana Moss and all those guys. So, here's a guy, again, he knows the history.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the history. A lot of those kids don't know the history. They just, they just showed up and they don't know about rivalries. They don't know about this and that. And they just showed up. But he really knows his Miami history and he embraces it.
Good.
He embraces it. And by the way, I got to tell you this funny story. Okay, viewers, please don't tell anybody this. This is between us 4, and you guys. Okay. A kid walked up to Gino Toretta, I'm not gonna say when, and asked him was he Peyton Manning?
Well, Peyton Manning has a big ass head, so
Gino had a Heisman shirt on, and he was like, Peyton Manning didn't win one of these. He was like, so who are you? That's what I mean. There's a kid on the team now. This is what I mean. They don't really know us.
Damn.
They don't really know the history of the program. They don't know guys, so I get it. But they asked him, was he Peyton Manning? That was some funny. The look on Gino's face was priceless because he said, he didn't win one of these. And he had that Heisman. And the guy was like, so who are you?
Yeah, so who are you? I'm Gino Toretta, man. I'm the Heisman winner, man. Oh, my God. I just showed up
here like last month, Hey, Steve, man.
Hey.
I appreciate you coming on.
No problem.
Have a safe travels.
I'll see you this weekend, Friday or Saturday.
You got any more questions for Steve McGuire?
I just want to know where the nickname Greedy Steve came from, because you mentioned these 9 or 10 steaks, all these burgers.
Well, I like to eat breakfast. I'm a breakfast guy, right?
He didn't miss a breakfast. Most of us got in trouble for missing breakfast. Not Greedy Steve. He's gonna be at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He didn't miss a meal.
We had to eat, man.
Him and the lunchroom lady, Miss Sarah. I mean, she was like a mother to him. I mean, he would have plates to go.
That's it. Hell yeah.
Greedy
Steve. They made up the term "big back" for Steve.
That's right.
Yeah. So we called him, Greedy on and off the field. He wanted the yards. he got the extra yards and he got all the extra food because he was, when he found out the Burger King was across the street, that boy was over there every day.
Oh, we had the hookup there. Remember that?
Yeah, we had the hookup.
We had the Burger King hookup. We had the KFC hookup.
We had the Club Connection hookup until Michael Barrow slammed we won't bring that up. Hey, Steve, man, thank you so much for coming on, man. I'll see you. Give me a call tomorrow, man.
Hey, next time.
I'll see you tomorrow night or Friday night. I'll see you Friday
night, my brother. All right, Gary.
Yeah.
Thank
you. I'll see you this weekend, hopefully.
Yep. All right.
All right. Stephen McGuire, everybody. He was Damian Martinez before there was Damian Martinez.
Yes.
He was Mark Fletcher before there was Mark Fletcher. I see you weren't even born. What year were you born? I'm not doing the math right now.
99. So I was.
Yeah. You missed it. You missed the Stephen McGuire or Lamar Thomas era. It was something else. I'll tell you that. It was something else. All right. So LM here, he wants to put Cam Ward at safety. Even he's seeing so much. Put Cam Ward at safety and rescue the defense. What do you guys think?
No.
Yeah.
No. He's too valuable.
DWC he's bought in.
When he runs, I hold my breath. I ain't gonna lie. When he runs, when he's trotting and he's doing this thing, I'm holding my breath. And then when he falls on the ground, he's gonna get up. Oh, okay.
I did a show with somebody at FSU today, and so they were speculating, at what point will Mario take Cam Ward out of the game? Is he going to want to rub FSU's nose in this thing and, get payback for that 40-point loss or whatever 2 years ago at Hard Rock? And I'm like, man, I hope not. There's a bigger picture now in this season. Yeah. And if they're winning the game handily at halftime or something, if they're fortunate enough to play this game the way everyone expects them to, I'd like to see them get him out because I know he's trying to win the Heisman and everything, but I don't know, man. I think you got to keep your eye on the prize at this point of the season, right? Right, LT?
And hopefully you continue to. I know they were trying to in the beginning to maybe redshirt Emory, right? I know it was talks of it. But hey, you let them get some playing time in a game like this. You practice those younger guys to get an opportunity to be able to show. And in the second half, I'm hoping that 2 years ago, if you go back and watch the show, my whole focus was hopefully our guys will realize it is a rivalry game. Well, I don't think they got the memo because Florida State dismantled us. We had a quarterback that would come in that they knew was running. They sent everybody. They knew he wasn't going to throw the ball. Ja'Cory, they knew he wasn't going to run the ball, and so it was an awful night. It was I think that was in the 7:00 game too. Yeah. But it was a terrible night. So this is our opportunity to maybe erase that in some of the fans that went there to that game. So I'm really hoping that we score a lot of points. I don't care how, but I want to score a lot of points against Florida State, and I want to kick them when they're down. I really want to kick them when, they say don't kick a man when he's down. Well, hell, I want to kick that cylinder right between his eyes and all his paint plow. That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm hoping.
I see the Noles are 1-6 coming in here. Is this a watered down football game on Saturday because of that, or is this Miami, Florida State?
No, this is Miami, Florida State at the end of the day because you just, like I said, I was, watching the FSU conference, just kind of, get to learn a little bit more about those players. And they might be 1-6, but these guys sound like this is their Super Bowl. One guy said this is the best opportunity he's had in his life from the offensive lineman. Lawrence Toafili was talking about, beating Miami throughout his career. They're hoping to continue that. Marvin Jones Jr., we talked about a little bit off there. His brother, Darryl Porter, plays for University of Miami. His dad had the big hit that you guys were talking about as well. There's just so many little things that, factor into this game. And, the coaches said it earlier this week when these two teams match up, throw the records out of the book. This is the game that, everyone has circled, 365 days a year. This is the game that players want to play. So many connections with, Coach Derek Nicholson played at Florida State. You guys got Randy Shannon was the head coach in Miami. You You got kids from South Florida, on that team. You got guys like, Emory Williams, who's from Milton, Florida, right, next to Tallahassee. So many underlying stories that play a big role into this rivalry.
Earl Little Jr.
Yeah,
Earl Little Jr.
And then you got Daryl Jackson, former Miami player, Devontae Brown. There's so many little storylines in history that makes this rivalry so special. So I think, regardless of records, this is going to be a great game, and I think obviously Miami's going to handle business, thoroughly come Saturday.
I bet you Mike Norvell's wishing he recruited Emory Williams about right now.
Oh,
they are hurting the quarterback.
Man, he remember they thought they got the right guy. DJ Oogadoodoo. They thought they had the right guy, and he turned out to be poo-poo. So,
wow.
It's a bad deal up there. And as we've seen, if you don't have a guy back there that's comfortable and confident enough to lead the team, it trickles down. And everybody kind of quits. So, hopefully, I would love to see them quit. Here's a question I got from all my guys, like, are the Florida State guys coming down? No, I don't think they are. They know. I mean, they won't even answer calls. I mean, I call Derek Brooks right now. He won't pick up. They send me straight to voicemail. Terrell Bucket, the little guy, he's still little. And so he probably not going to want to come. I mean, they know deep down. I don't even know if that's why we're saying pack the Rock, because I don't think Florida State will have that many fans there, because they know this is our opportunity to put that. I mean, just smack them around, So will they bring the band? I don't know. Do I want to hear the war chant at least first before the game? Yeah, I want to hear it a little bit. It gets me pumped up. It gets me fired up because I was successful when they played it. But I don't want to hear it for the rest of the game. Just have them over there, shut their mouths, and we'll hear our band of the hour. One more time. It is what it is. I just want to see a good game where we're putting points on the board and blowing them out. That's what I want. I want a blowout. I want a blowout.
They got to do something with that band of the hour, man. They should recruit high school kids or something to come play with the band of the hour at games. It's such a small band. It's almost embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we pump. I don't know if you realize it. We definitely have microphones over there to pump the sound.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's no way band make the whole stadium. They need to do something. I mean, but they've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, but it's gotten smaller and smaller and smaller.
It's gotten smaller. It's
get 50 high school kids to put on the uniform and come out there and play with you guys on the weekend. Nobody will know the difference. All right, LT, let me ask you this. I don't understand this. I wrestle with it. This was a 12-0 Florida State team back in January. Okay,
right.
Late December, January. Obviously, they had a lot of graduations. A lot of guys leave. How do you go from being a 12-0 program to being 1-6 on the cusp of 0-7? They're way down in the standings of total offense and pretty much in almost every category. Their defense isn't a whole lot better. They're right around the 70s or 80s. How do you go from being at the top? Well, not the top, because they didn't let them be at the top, but being 12-0 to being this.
My opinion is it started obviously with the Travis breaking his ankle or whatever that was in that bowl game. That bowl game put a cloud over their head. That was bad. And so now you're trying to find momentum going in from the offseason. What are you going to say? Forget the bowl game? No, those kids were broken. They were hurt. Fans were hurt. Now you're trying to go in the offseason. I mean, it's hard to get pumped up after getting beat 63 to whatever. I mean, that's a 63 piece put on you.
Yeah.
Extra spicy.
Against Georgia.
Against Georgia. Down here in the Orange Bowl,
yeah,
right?
It was in the Orange Bowl.
Down here?
Yep.
Was it in the same stadium?
Same stadium.
The last time they were here, they got a 63 piece put on them. So, think about that. Now you're trying to, and then you get the quarterback. You think, well, you lose the quarterback because you don't want to spend the money. The quarterback comes to us, and you try to make excuses. We got the right guy. We saved money. We got the right guy. Until they saw him throw. They put a barn up, big old barn. I mean, a huge barn. and he couldn't hit the side of it, standing 5 feet from it. So he was terrible, and they saw it. And so I think personally, when they saw the quarterback, saw that he was terrible, they lost hope. And we've said this over and over again. If you got a quarterback like we have, who is a leader, he brings people along. He brings that defense along. He brings that special teams along. He brings everybody along, the coaches. He brings the whole program along. So, they don't have that. And so they're lost. They're very lost. And we've been there where we didn't have quarterbacks and we had bad play. We truly had bad play around it. So we just flipped spots. And so right now, they're just trying to find it. What I really want them to do is just try to get through the season. Just say, hey, we just want to get through the season. Okay, if you put 70 points on us, we're okay with that. We just want to nobody get hurt. I'm really hoping they just lay down and cry and just lay down and take it and take it. And without the Diddy oil, I want them to take it. Just beat them down. And but I just think that program is right now they're in a bad state because they don't have any leaders. And I think those guys are quitting. And that's when they start quitting and they know think about it. Unless they went out, they ain't going to no bowl game. So what are they playing for? Is it draft status? So now guys are going to be doing all kind of crap that they're not supposed to be doing. They're going to be getting out of their lanes, trying to make plays, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on. So they got a tough job up there to try to get through the season. But how do you get recruits? Now, the only good thing about that, trying to get recruits, you say, hey, you see how bad we are? You come in and start.
You can play.
You come in and replace them. But we all know you don't want too many freshmen playing. You have a freshman-laden team, you're going to take some lumps for about 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So that puts them even further behind the A-ball. So if you're an NLI guy, do you want to go there? They've already shown they don't want to pay the big bucks. So they're going to lose out on that side too. So they got some issues up there. They really, truly have issues.
I see you've looked into this team extensively this week. Are they as bad as the record says they are?
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Obviously, I never, want to say, obviously Coach Cristobal said this best earlier this year. You're a D1 college football player for a reason. I know all these guys are 10 times better than I ever was, but because as a program collectively, it's like the life has been drained out of these guys. I think, those losses to the Memphises of the world and, just being 1-6 is just killing these guys. Like I said, obviously, they're getting up for the game. They're like real happy, excited, but just watching the Duke game, I watched the Georgia Tech game. It's just like this team does not look like the FSU these last 2 years. They're not physical. They don't have the playmakers. They don't have the quarterback. Run game is absolutely atrocious. Offensive line has dwindled down, and a lot of injuries are happening to some of the key guys on offense. They're down another running back. They're down another offensive lineman, and that defensive line that was supposed to be the best in the country. All this good stuff. You watch them, and it's just like, man, do they miss Jared Verse and Braden Fisk? And linebacker play has been pretty bad as well too. And then the secondary, kudos to those guys. They've been holding up their end of the bargain because everything else on that defense has not looked good this year. We all know about the offense struggles. Brock Glenn's going to get the start on Saturday against Miami, but they're going to run a 2-quarterback system, which I think is one of the dumbest things ever. I feel like with the quarterback, you have to get that rhythm and flow of the game, and just bringing in a true freshman, bringing in a guy. I don't think it's going to be pretty at all. I think Miami's going to win by a landslide like a lot of people do. But, yeah, this FSU team has a lot of struggles, and I think it starts, honestly, with recruiting and talent evaluations. But, like Lamar said, you're trying to bring in these NIL guys, showing them, hey, come make an impact. You're missing on a lot of them, and you're not recruiting high school. This is kind of what you get, a 1-6 team that, was undefeated in the regular season last year.
I'll tell you mentioned the bowl game, 63-3. They lose to Georgia. Okay, that was the worst bowl loss in the history of college football. Okay, now I know they were missing players that didn't play in the game and the whole thing, but that was a little bit of a statement about where their program's at, and that there was a lot of phoniness to that season last year, and not a lot of depth on their roster, and a lot of holes and things like that might have been covered up in different ways.
But Gary, they had, let's go back to what I said. They had a quarterback that was dragging them along.
Yep.
When that quarterback went down, they were done. You know, he made them better. I saw that kid get better every year. He became in total control of that offense. I did the Florida State game the prior year up there in Tallahassee, and I said, man, this kid is going to be awesome. I mean, he literally has gone from just a running quarterback that he was to now being in control, throwing the ball well. He's going to have a great year next year. And he dragged them along. He pulled them along. He gave them hope. He gave them, just like Cam is doing for us. He went down, and it just went shit. I mean, it went to haywire. I mean, it was, like you said, that bowl game, I watched it because I wanted to feel good about them getting beat down, of course. But on the other side of it, I said, damn, I've never seen a team get this bad, go from 12-0, 11-0, 12-0 to get blown out. I mean, literally destroyed in the bowl game.
And now it's carried over to this season. They had 23 guys sit out the bowl game, 9 because they were going into the NFL draft, and 14 because they were going into the transfer portal after the game. And I know that's the way of the world in college football today, guys skipping bowl games and stuff, but that, to me, set the tone for this season because that was a beatdown. And that had to just totally deflate the whole program coming out of that bowl game. And I don't think they've recovered. I really don't. I mean, I watched those guys, and I can't. I'm looking at the TV, and I'm saying, how did they get this bad? How could they possibly be this bad? I'm watching them against Duke last week. I mean, it was embarrassing at times. I mean, this is a bad football team. And I'm with IC, man. I mean, I'll be very surprised if they can mount the challenge to Miami, which has it all going right now. I'm expecting a huge Hurricane victory on Saturday.
Yeah, 100%. Oh,
I mean, I want to. That's what I want, Gary. I want a huge victory. I want like this huge sub I got. I want a huge victory. I want a huge victory. I want to run them out the building. I want to. I just need to. You know, those Florida State guys that said, hey, I haven't heard from you in years when it came to this game. You're right. You're 100%. You're right. But it's my time. It's my time. And goddamn it, I'm going to give it to you. And I'm going to call you. I'm going to text you. I'm going to Facebook you. I'm going to Instagram you. I'm going to, what's that yellow one? The one behind the scenes. I see, help me. What's that other? Snapchat you? Snapchat you? I'm gonna do all that. I love it. Snapchat you. I'm gonna get it all. Hey man, it's been too long. Canes are traveling circus again. Okay, Pinellas Canes.
What do you think, man? Are they the traveling circus again, Lamar? You were part of a traveling circus in your day.
I never really looked at it as a circus. I looked at it as a well-oiled machine, baby. We's a well-oiled machine. We come to town, we're gonna beat your behind in. We're gonna beat you down and make it like it. And then we're gonna get your girls' phone numbers on a piece of paper. And we're gonna call them using a calling card. It was illegal, but that's neither here nor there.
Jake says this is one of the best offenses he's ever seen. Is it one of the best offenses you've ever seen, Lamar?
You know, Rhett Lashley he had a deal going. You know, he had a good deal going, but man, this is. I would pay money to watch this, man. This guy is amazing, man. This guy that's back there, that number one, you know, TVD, you know, everybody was, you know, they were pumping him up, but there's nothing like this. There's nothing like this. This is when you got people around the country watching your program to, you know, they don't want us to win, obviously, but they can't help but love this quarterback. You know, that's all they talk about. I don't like you guys. I don't like Miami. Damn, Cam Ward is so good.
This running back at BYU, man, is giving him a run though in the Heisman race.
Yeah. I mean, you know, even you know, Travis Hunter, you know, he's still in the hunt. You know, I applaud Deion and those guys for doing the right thing, getting him out. You know, we got to do hopefully we get up and we're able to take Cam out. I mean, because for us, it's a bigger picture. Obviously, yeah, we love for him to win the Heisman, but I think an ACC championship, get into the playoffs, I think we'd all say, hey, we love that too. So this is some uncharted water here because we want to see him do well, but we also want to see this running game get on track because I think that gives us our best opportunity in the long haul to be successful in the ACC championship and or the playoffs.
What do you think this means, Lamar? What the hell is this? I don't even want to speculate.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. Whew, hold on now.
DWC says he's got $1 million question. Can the offense score at this rate against the Georgias and Ohio States of the world? What do you think, LT?
I think so. I think we can, especially if we run the ball effectively. I think we can. You don't want to put the beginning of the year. I said going to that Florida game, I did not want to see him try to win the game. I did not want it be all on his shoulders. That's where the running game comes in. If you can run the ball effectively, I think that really helped us against Cal. It might not have been big yards, but it was effective enough that it was a bruising game. But I think it helped us against Louisville. I know for sure it helped us against Louisville because he was able to they had to go man to man. They had to do things that they didn't feel comfortable. They had to sit in the house because they were trying to get him out of a comfort zone. But what they didn't realize is that the man looks comfortable at all times. So it put him in some bad situations. So I want to see some run game. I want to see some guys, that offensive line, being able to push Florida State around. Remember, coming into the season, one of the strengths was supposed to be Florida State's D-line. And they have not played up to that strength. I mean, they actually have gotten the ball run down their throat. And I never would have thought with all those guys that were up there who are getting a lot of money. I'm not trying to count their pockets, but they were counted on to be everybody does it. But they were counted on to be very good this year, and they have not lived up to expectations. But they got some nice scat pats, I'll tell you that.
Lamborghinis. They got some
Lamborghinis, and that's what's pissing off the Florida State. So right now, there is a friction because the fans and everybody are peed off because these guys are showing the scat pats on the trailers after losses, or the Lamborghinis on the trailers that they just got after losing to Memphis or whatever.
That's a great point.
It is a friction because now you're pissing off fans that go, hey, man, why would I want to give you guys money?
Why am I giving all these guys money to lose every game?
Yes, and they don't care. All they care about is the scat pack. They're nice cars too. But they ain't winning. So it's a lot of stuff going up there around up there at Tallahassee.
How about these schools in the SEC that aren't winning, like the Oklahomas of the world? The competition level is up a notch now. Everyone's not going to win in that league, but the money is flowing at every one of those schools. That is the hidden story of NIL. Because it's still young, we're still early in the game where the budgets are at this level. What happens at the schools that don't win, and will those people write the checks the next year?
We will see.
You write the check the next year, I see.
If you ain't winning, you're not getting this paper, man. I'm sorry for you, though.
So what do they do then? How do they fund the next year's team if the boosters aren't writing the checks because they don't feel they're getting an ROI?
You gotta sell some hope. You gotta fire the coach, bring in a new guy who's got some nice.
Wait. When you say fire the coach, I see that ain't cheap.
That's another thing.
I mean, that's another thing.
Mike
So
Norvell would cost them if they wanted. They're not going to fire him this year, but it would cost them $60 million to get rid of him this year. Yeah. That's not happening.
That ain't happening.
But
Can't do it.
But this is the story all over the country. I guarantee you, there are boosters at every school that's not winning. that have put up money for NIL, from the goodness of their heart, because they don't even get a tax break if they donate to a collective. Okay.
I didn't know that.
The only ROI is the winning. Like, God bless our guys here at Miami that are putting up all the money. I mean, they're getting ROI. They're coming to every game. They're experiencing the winning. They're on the sidelines. You see them every week. They're having a great time down there. They're getting something of value for what they've. I mean, again, God bless these guys. Like, they have saved this program, and I hope some of you guys are watching tonight. I hope you feel the sense of satisfaction for what you guys have done, because Miami's as competitive in this arena as anybody in the country, with no plans to go anywhere.
Hey, Gary, just the good point too. So you just reminded me. I want to thank Michael Freeland for
that's right,
plane ride up. And on that plane ride, I got to. So we had like a 2-hour trip to Cincinnati, where we drove. And so I sat in the car with the guys from the collective. And so I was able to talk to them, because there were a lot of stuff I didn't understand, and they explained some things. Because I was like, okay, do I want to be a booster, or do I want to give money to the collective? What are the good and what is the bad? And it was very interesting to hear. But they did tell me this: 12 months from now, everything I told you could change.
It could change, yeah, but it's not really going to change, I don't think, because like the difference right now is a booster gives money to the school, he gets a tax break. The school doesn't want boosters anymore. They want everybody donating money to the collective, because the school doesn't want to put money right into the collective, but the school can make up what the boosters were putting money towards. Like if it's a building, it's a mortgage payment, the school can make that up. But the boosters got to put the money into the collective, but the boosters don't get the tax break from it. It's an interesting dynamic that's going on here. Yeah. But what they're talking about, LT, is now revenue sharing is coming. And the university is going to put up $20 million a year and share their revenue with the players. And it's going to be divided amongst all the athletes, $20 million every year off the top now. So that'll take care of a lot of guys and a lot of athletes in school. But Cam Ward comes along, he's going to command a much bigger check than the revenue share out of that $20 million. So now your collective over here on the side is still going to need its $15 million, $20 million budget to take care of the guys like that you want to bring in the program that have the market value to get that extra money. It's amazing what this has become. Amazing.
And by the way, how much do you think, was it euros or whatever from Texas? How much do you think he commands if he goes and try to go to another school? A lot.
Player retention is going to be huge in college football. These are 1-year deals. Very interesting. Can you keep your own play? I mean, you got to have some budget, okay, to keep everybody happy. Now, Christopher Wright was listening to our conversation earlier about Cam Ward. Is he the best quarterback to ever play at Miami? Christopher Wright says this: got to win something first. I see. Yeah. You agree?
Yeah, 100%. Because you mentioned, all those great quarterbacks, back in the day, and all those guys have national championships. Toronto has the Heisman Trophy. Obviously, you love the stats, you love, the national championship. But at the end of the day, are you adding something to that, hardware room, another trophy, the program's first ACC championship or the program's first national championship in over 20 years? So, I mean, like I said, you love to see the stats. You love to see him, getting all these regular season wins, but postseason when it matters the most, is going to bring something back to Miami. And his mindset, how he's focused, it seems like that's, his goals. He's not really worried about the, individual awards. He's worried about the big things at the end of the year. But that's a great point.
Well, that's a no-brainer what Gio Kane just said. If he wins the Heisman and Natty, and if he's the greatest Kane player ever, he's up there with the Ray Lewises and the Michael Irvins, and he's up there. He breaks all the records. I mean, that it is what it is. But if you win both of those things the same year, the Heisman and the Natty, to run the gauntlet, you're up there. Most unbelievable season ever.
Yeah. Cam's back there making coffee and baking donuts. And
but the only reason that's happening because he has better offensive line play than they've had in recent years. You know, that is the truth. When you got better offensive line play and those guys, Mirabal, he has those guys. You know, they added a piece to the puzzle for last week. You know, they're playing well. You know, we want them to continue to play well. Keep being now. The other team wins sometimes. You know, Cam has been sacked. They win sometimes, but for the most part, I think they've done a hell of a job keeping him upright. He's done a hell of a job. He feels the pressure, steps up, steps back, moves to the side, moves to the. I mean, he's done it out. He's made it easier for those guys too. On that
he makes
offensive line.
plays that you just don't see guys make. Look! I queued a couple. Look at this one. All right, now we talk about who's the greatest quarterback, whatever, and we've had some great ones. Lamar, Gino Torretta can't make this play. You know, Vinny maybe could have. Vinny probably could have made this play, but you know, like he is such a unique player. But the thing that's been impressing me lately is his knack for knowing when to run. He's not a running quarterback per se, but he knows. I mean, he's just got it up here when to.
Some big first downs he made against Louisville too.
Yeah, here's one of them right here. You know, like he knows when it's time for him to just go get the first down, and he's deceptively fast. I mean, you know, if you watch him here, like he doesn't even look like he's running hard, but he gets there. Like he's deceptively fast. Here's another one that from the game.
3rd and 17.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, look how fast he looks on this play. But I wouldn't call him a running quarterback.
No.
He's a quarterback that runs when he knows he needs to.
Right.
And
I mean, he realized it was man to man. They had a hole player. Once those guys disappeared, there's nobody there. Once the one back went across the field or a tight end, I don't know who it was, and that backer left, he knew they had a hole player, but he was looking right at the hole player and decided to run. When he just picked up the yards, I mean, he's playing really good right now, really good. But the O-line is really helping, but that run game has helped, and obviously the receivers are playing well. And going back to that play you said Gino wouldn't have made, he would have made that because he'd have threw that thing up to me. We'd have made that, baby.
The end result would have been the same. It would have
been the same.
Forget the style points.
Get all them style points, dog. Just throw it up, baby. I got you, G.
6 and 6 at the end of the day. Touchdown to touchdown.
6. I'm celebrating with the cheerleaders. Better.
All right, I see. Before we let you go for the night, parting thoughts here as Miami gets ready to play Florida State.
This is going to be what Coach Cristobal has been building up for 2 years. That 45-3 loss, that Emory Williams injury last year, in front of over 100 recruits. He's going to put on a show. I know a lot of people are like, is he going to run up the score? If I'm a betting man, I think he puts another 50 burger on them. I think it's going to be a statement win. People are going to look back at this game and be like, wow, you know, I feel like this is going to kind of put a Band-Aid over that 45-3 in those last 2 years losses. I think it's going to be a great show in front of a lot of big-time recruits, and it's going to have a big impact on the rest of the year as well.
LT, if they can run up the score, do they do it?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I got a
34-3 deal 2 years ago. There is no way they're taking the gas off.
I want 50 on the bench. I want 50, 60, maybe 70.
And they got the black uniforms. You wear black to so we'll see.
Yes.
I just want it to be with IC at quarterback and not Cam Ward when we're up by 30.
Yeah, me too, dog. Me too. Once we get up by 30, man, come on, get up out of there, dog. I might have to go back down on the sideline and grab his helmet and hide it.
And hide it, yeah.
And hide it.
All right, IC. We'll see you next week, man.
Thank you, guys.
See you at the game, IC.
All right, Lamar.
Wait. Hey, you see what Sergeant Major had a good question. LT, college QBs, compare Cam to Lamar, just college play. Ooh. I mean, two different offenses. Lamar was put in the offense. Well, obviously it was passing. You saw Braun. What he's able to do is the same offense. But there was a caveat. There was an extra little thing to that, the pistol. And that helped Lamar as far as being able to run the options and all that, the read options and stuff like that. That's not what we asked. You don't see Cam running the read option. You don't see him having to read. Only thing he's reading RPOs, he's reading a guy on the end of the scrimmage, the linebacker or whatever, whether he's going to give it or throw it out there. But two different quarterbacks, both successful at what they do. Lamar is a more polished runner. Cam is, I think he's a guy that makes it happen. He has that winning demeanor where he's going to make it happen no matter what. Both of them kind of had that. Lamar was kind of the same way, but I just think Lamar is more of a polished runner than Cam has been. But they both were guys that could make plays in space, and most importantly, their teammates enjoyed being their teammates. That's what's important, because if you find guys like that, I mean, it's just being around Lamar and those teammates and seeing Cam is a complete reminder of how Lamar was and how the guys thought of Lamar. So.
All right, word association, Damian Martinez.
I'm glad he had those runs because, some of our fans don't really understand, but it worked itself out because as you saw in the fourth quarter, how dominant he was, because you got Mark Fletcher, you got him, they come with Lau, they, put Johnson. I mean, they changed it up, but at AJ Allen, but at the end of the game, the guys that are in there are the guys that are going to make you say, do I really want to tackle this guy now? And he showed that he can punish you down the field. Once he saw the holes, he hit those. I mean, he did his little stutter step, but he knows how to accelerate, and it was beautiful to watch. And I think good 1-2 punch, really good 1-2 punch. If we can keep those guys healthy and keep seeing this, it's gonna be good for this program as far as later on down the road if we're able to make it to the ACC championship and if we're able to make it into the playoffs.
Sam Brown.
It's good to see him smile. I think it's the first time I've seen him smile. I've been around him for months, and so proud of him. I told him just the other day how proud I was of him. It's a really big game for him. He got the start, and he did what he was supposed to do. He went in and made plays. He played like he was having fun, and it was good for him. I think this game, it was in front of a lot of scouts, so good for him. I'm very proud of him and what he's done so far.
Mike Norvell.
Man, you went from being the prom king to you can't be the water boy right now. I mean, it's amazing how he went from being hated to liked to loved to back to hated. I mean, that's where the program is right now. They can't figure it out. I'm sure he's scratching his head. From what I talked to Uncle Luke a couple of weeks ago, and he said Norvell came down to see one of his players, and Uncle Luke asked him, what the hell is going on up there? And he said, that is not the same team I see in practice. So somehow the connection is lost between game and practice. And I believe it's probably right. Those guys they're not giving the maximum effort, or they're not being smart. For years, when they were bad, they made dumb decisions. A lot of penalties and stuff like that. This year, it's just bad ball. So somehow, some way, they're losing the translation as far as being a good team, and they've not been good this whole year.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened.
Someone's saying Randy Shannon. Randy Shannon has filled in. He's been the interim coach at every place.
Something to happen.
He's just waiting. Randy, onion in the background.
That extra 100. He gets that extra 100 on his stroke every time
That's why
somebody
I
gets
slide
fired.
him for an extra 100 or 200.
Yeah. Wow. Cam Ward, we've talked a lot about him tonight, but can't go home without Cam Ward.
He's the guy. I mean, I can't wait. I love watching him. I hold my breath when he runs. But man, he's brought so much excitement to this program. Again, I just go back to grown men walking outside that stadium in Canesville in the University of Florida and saying, I can't believe he's our quarterback. And I can't believe he is, because he's really rejuvenated this program.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those guys that comes into the program and you say, wow, we made the right choice. We made the right choice. So,
no doubt. Yep. Yeah. He may or may not go down as the best quarterback to ever play here, but he will go down as the guy that brought life back into it.
Yeah, and I can tell you this: he would never have to buy a drink in South Florida.
That's right.
That. He can go anywhere he wants to go. If he continues to do what he's doing and put us in the ACC championship and a chance in the playoffs, he would never have to buy a drink here. Because I mean, people will. One thing about South Florida, they love winners, and if you won, they will never forget you. They will never forget you.
You know what I'm dying to see is if he comes back. Does he come back? Is this a true 1-year rental, or is his heart? His heart, Lamar, is his heart with the U as he goes forward in life?
Man, man, that would be. Boy, if he came back another year, man, we get everybody go. I tell you what, everybody would be pooling their money together. All your little monies, everybody slide. They take collection plates at the Hard Rock. All kind of stuff be going on in South Florida to get that man. If he said, "Hey, I'm thinking about coming back."
Oh no, I'm not saying coming back to play. He's not coming back to play. I'm talking about is he going to come back in the future? For games and have a presence the way you do, the way Michael does.
I mean, hey, hell yeah, he probably come back. He don't need no pass. Even the people at the stadium just gonna let him walk through. Oh, that's Cam Ward. Oh yeah, man, go ahead. You don't need no pass, bro. You park right by. You can park right by the Marino Trophy if you want to.
So we're seeing what happened at Florida State, 12-0 to 1-6. I wonder if that makes this next guy like pause for a minute as he's preparing for this game on Saturday, because they're going to lose some talent from this team in different ways and stuff. And now the standard has been set, and they got to have to come back next year with a different quarterback and a different plan, but try to get the same results. And we're seeing the bottom of the pit with Florida State this year. And now Miami has to try to sustain it. But let's finish tonight with Mario Cristobal.
2 years ago, they ran the score up on us. I mean, I truly feel like they spanked us pretty good. And but we weren't a good team. We got a better team now. Mario has the puzzle pieces. He's fixed. He's put some puzzle pieces together. We got a better team. And I know he feels good about it. I know he feels good about where they are. We still got a ways to go on some things, but this will be a good opportunity also to play some younger guys, and I'm sure we want to go out and dismantle and put any thoughts of Florida State saying we're going to come in and put up a fight, put it to bed, so now we can play some of these younger guys, maybe even play some quarterbacks. And just win a game going away. I mean, you think about it, the last 4 games, 3 or 4 games, 4 games have been close. We've had the Virginia Tech, the comeback over in California, Louisville game. I think it might be one more, but those are 3. So they've been pretty close,
Yeah.
So now this will be an opportunity, and I'm pretty sure he's saying, "Hey, man, let's not let them.
Don't let them
let's
up.
not let them. Don't let them up. Don't let them up. Don't give them life. And let's just go in and do what we're supposed to do and send them behind back to Trailer Happy on a bus."
Major Norvell looked panicked in the last game. I keep thinking about, and I won't name names, but the conversation 2 years ago exactly with one of Florida State's people, where they said, "You guys are where we were 2 years ago."
That was me having the conversation
I
with
know.
their assistant head coach.
I know.
He said, "You guys are where we were,"
And now,
look, it's reversed again.
yeah.
And now,
Crazy game.
they're where we were. No quarterback play. Didn't know what the hell was going on. We had a guy that we would just put in there to run, and they knew it. And they brought 11 guys. Every time he came for Ja'Cory, I mean, he's probably still hurting from that game. But you're right. The roles have reversed again. So we need to put that butt whipping on them like they did us, and I will be thankful.
Yes, sir.
It'll be a great weekend.
You and all of us. All right, LT. Well, great show. We got to thank Stephen McGuire for coming on, and we got to thank CaneSport for sponsoring once again. 2655 South University Drive in Davie, CaneSport.com. He's getting ready to model again. Let me give him the big screen. We'll give him the big screen so he can model like a pro here. But yeah, we thank CaneSport for sponsoring tonight's show. We will see everybody at the Rock on Saturday. Should be a big day for tailgating, a big night under the lights. Always a special time when you get Hard Rock Stadium under the lights. Hopefully Taylor Swift didn't mess up the field too bad, and it's a nice playing surface. And big moment for the Hurricanes here. Got to take care of business against their upstate rival and flex their muscles a little bit as recruiting goes into the home stretch here in this 2025 cycle. Thank you so much for joining us again. We'll see you guys next week. For Lamar, I'm Gary. We'll say for Lamar and IC, I'm Gary. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Go Canes.